we got past the first couple series. But now you're going talking about a totally different animal traveling on the road against San Francisco where points are going to be at a premium. You don't think a kicker doesn't have those thoughts in his head that I miss not 50-yard field goals, basically, essentially like chip shot, extra point, 4 of them in a critical game for the Dallas Cowboys? I just think it's going to be something very hard to overcome for the Dallas Cowboys kicker.
Yeah, I think that's an issue. But, Gold's not great either. He missed a 41-yard field goal against the Raiders. He's not as good as he used to be. Had a terrible squib kick last week, which cost him 3 points at the end of the half. So I'm not so sure about him either. Dan, I don't know about the kicking mentality of the kid from Dallas. He did not go for a field goal. You remember that? In the second half, he went for it on 4th down, McCarthy in Tampa. Touchdown, I got the idea he did that because he didn't trust the kid to make the kick because he had missed the 4 extra points. He's going to have to trust him eventually, but I'm going to assume it's a freakish thing. He's had a good year, that he'll make a big kick when he has to make a big kick. Thoughts there?
Yeah, I actually texted McAfee about this. I think this is very similar to like golf. You would know that, Doggy. Like where, sometimes you just stand over a tee ball and I've sprayed 3 or 4 drivers in a row, and I get to the 18th hole in a match, like, I got to hit the ball down the fairway, and it's just finding a way to get outside of your old mind and put a good swing on it. And so, like, that the mind is crazy, and I think that's the biggest conversation about this piece is, I don't think it's going to cost them. No, I don't. Could it? Absolutely. Yeah, I think, number one, he made a kick after those 4 misses, so that helps a little bit. So, like, you saw – the last kick you saw, it went through the goalpost. So I think that matters. McAfee and I texted Pat because I'm not a kicker and I know this is a different world. And I was like, yo, have you ever, because McAfee made the point, there's a chance he never makes another one again type of thing. Like there's a chance he's done. And then there's the chance that he'll never miss again type thing. Like he'll go back. This was just an off night. He'll go back to having a really good season because Maher had a very good season. And the mind is, and I said, Pat, have you ever experienced something like this? And I don't know if he said absolutely this exact situation, but his mindset was he just went back to swinging. Like he said, some guys, they got to go take a whole mental overhaul and restructure everything. And Pat's mindset was like he just went back to just kept swinging. And so I think you'll have a pretty good feel, obviously, early on of how he's handled this week. I don't think it is because he saw his last kick go in and he's had a good season. I just think he had a bad night and he's just got to get himself back on track.
Okay, Dan, Maher and is it Vizcaino? Did I say it right?
I would imagine it's Vizcaino.
Okay. All right.
Wasn't there a baseball player last name Vizcaino?
Yeah, Jose Vizcaino.
I was
thinking
thinking Robinson Cano, but I guess he doesn't have the I in it.
No, he does not.
Yeah. We'll work on that. All right, coming up, we'll work on that in the commercial break. What does Vegas think about the big AFC matchup between Cincinnati and Buffalo this week?
Going to have a huge game.
Well, guys, listen, I'm a former offensive lineman, so I'm never going to pick one guy, but I'm going to pick that unit. I'm going to pick the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. And the reason why is because, first of all, this has kind of been a reshuffled unit the whole year. I mean, they've had a lot of different personnel. Jason Peters, who was a left tackle in the last game, he got hurt. He's out. And it's almost impossible to run the ball on the San Francisco 49ers. They haven't given up a 70-yard rusher all year, I believe.
Right.
And so I think when you look at go into this game, I don't think you have to have a ton of yards rushing. I think you're going to have some volume. You're going to have to run the ball. Volume, not necessarily yards volume, but more importantly, they can't be one-dimensional against the 49ers because once a team knows that you're one-dimensional, guess what's going to happen? Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, those guys are going to pin their ears back and get after the quarterback. Those guys need to protect. They need to continue to run the ball. More importantly, protect for Dak because like Dan talked about, if you look at this 49ers defense, they're good on all 3 levels, but I would say the weakest link of their defense is their secondary, particularly their corners.
Right.
Give Dak an opportunity to find a CeeDee Lamb, to expose those guys on the back end because that's going to be their best opportunity against that San Francisco 49ers defense. We've seen it before. We've seen Jarrett Stidham a couple weeks ago, the quarterback from the Raiders. Had a lot of success. Had a lot of success against his 49ers defense, particularly in their secondary. Got to be able to protect the quarterback. That's going to be huge.
I am shocked that Dallas is only a 3-4 point underdog. I mean, these are the Niners. They've won 8 or not, whatever, 10 in a row. What have they've been unbelievable.
But has anybody? I feel like everybody's so high on the Niners, and I understand that Brock Purdy has done an incredible job. But I just have to. Can I just say one thing real quickly on that? He's still, and I'm not even going to go based on the draft position. He's still a rookie quarterback with no playoff experience.
Well, Molly, here's it, and I want to pick it back.
Force him to make mistakes.
That's where I'm going with this, Molly. This is what I think. I brought out the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. What Dallas really needs to do, try to make the 49ers one-dimensional. Since Brock Purdy's been the starting quarterback, the San Francisco 49ers average over 150 rushing yards per game. He hasn't had the pressure on him because anytime you have a running game that you can lean on, where's the pressure on the quarterback? Make this thing Dak versus Brock Purdy. If Dallas can somehow, some way slow down that run, slow down the rushing game, and put it on the quarterback. Let's see how he matches up going blow to blow, blow for blow with Dak Prescott.
So everybody thinks Purdy's due to wake up. It's midnight, and he's no longer Cinderella. If that's the case, Dallas can win the game, and that's what you're basically saying.
But you got to somehow, some way take away the rushing attack from the 49ers.
All right. Do we have time for the kicker, Cassandra? Okay. So after Brett Maher's horrific night at the office on Monday, Dallas is bringing in reinforcements. The Cowboys signed Tristan Vizcaino, Dan, I need pronunciation on that, to its practice squad ahead of Sunday's divisional round duel with the San Francisco 49ers. This is merely insurance, as they say they will stick to Maher. All right, Damian, will the Cowboys kickers and their kicking woes cost them the game versus the Niners?
I think it could be a problem. I think this is going to be a problem. Listen, 4 missed PATs. 4 missed PATs. Now, the only saving grace was the Dallas Cowboys. That game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was over by the half.
They didn't need the points.
They didn't need it. It was obvious that the Dallas Cowboys were the better team against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, as promised, we are back with more big man, tiny helmets after the mishap that we had in hour number 1, picking these games. Don Graziano taking this one directly to the face. And I can now display the injury report. Dan will have Jaguars Chiefs for us on Saturday. He is currently questionable with a cheek contusion.
I'll be there.
Dan, how do you feel?
I'll be there. I'll good enough. It's the playoffs, man. Like you're not sitting this out.
Extra protection.
Got a little. Oh yeah, that's a good call.
How about we strap that on?
That's good.
That was during the AFC portion of the helmet smashes that we did a little earlier today.
You take one.
So he smashed earlier today. He picked Cincinnati and Kansas City in the AFC with his smashes. Now, D-Wood, we do the NFC. Giants, Eagles, Saturday night. Philly, a 7.5-point favorite at home. Who's getting smashed? Oh!
See?
I think that grazed my hair. I do think it grazed me.
You think it got you?
I felt it a little.
Stepping back.
I did step back.
That's
you
why
got a lot of range.
Yeah,
all right,
absolutely.
Why the Eagles?
Yeah, listen, as much as we talk about Jalen Hurts and his shoulder, I think this, we're in the divisional round of the playoffs. All bets are off. You got off season to worry about all that type of stuff. I think they're going to do what they do offensively, and the Philadelphia Eagles do what they do. To me, they are the best team remaining in the playoffs.
Eagles, Giants.
I mean, I got to go with the Eagles. Brian Daboll is coach of the year, but it's about the players, and I think the better roster is the Eagles, and I think ultimately that wins out.
I'm going Eagles. They got the tone setters up front. Offensive line.
Everybody likes Philly. Let's see how healthy Jalen Hurts is. Okay, Cowboys, Niners, the last game of the weekend. San Francisco, a 4-point home favorite. D. Wood. Oh, that went that way.
That went way over there.
Cowboys going down. Why, D. Wood? Why?
Listen, when you talk about this this San Francisco 49ers team, it's the mentality, man. They're the most physical team remaining in the playoffs. Brock Purdy, since he's been the starting quarterback, they've averaged like over 150 rushing yards per game. I don't know if the Dallas Cowboys will be able to stop this rushing attack by the 49ers.
I see the pics on the screen. By the way, we can show you just how far that went. That helmet went all the way past our other studio. That was really well hit by you.
Yes, it was.
That's Chris Canty, who is we're getting ready to help us out with radio today, who was all the way over there. He almost got hit by this. Quickly, we have the pics up on their screen. Bart, why San Francisco?
San Francisco is a more versatile team with the more unique players. I just think that physicality wins in these games.
Ninko.
Defense, baby. 49ers defense.
And Graz and I are
have
both.
no idea.
We're both going the opposite.
I just feel like it's the opposite of what I wanted to pick, and with the Cowboys this year, that's the way it's gone, so Cowboys.
All right, Graziano was the MVP today, playing through pain and everything else. Great job on the helmet smashes,
Yes,
big
sir.
fella. Thank you for getting up with us. We will be back and better than. Conversation continues with First Take now.